Morning, morning.
Morning, man.
Morning, big homie. How you doing?
What is going on?
Oh, just had a wonderful sleep last night after having 2 hour practice last night. Practice
All
went
right.
fantastic.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so
Everybody front and
I was
center.
I was a little off. We got one of the kids. I thought he was 120 pounds. No, no, no. He's a 150 pound second grader.
Big boy.
He's a big boy, dude. He blows
He's
his
gonna be
guy off
y'all's.
the line, and he'll be in the.
He's gonna be
He'll
y'all's.
be in the. Go ahead.
He's gonna be y'all's Lawrence Taylor.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We're going to be running power eye football, running up the gut all day, scoring touchdowns. Woo, it's going to be great.
All right.
Yo, yo, yo.
What's up?
What they do, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, morning. My bad. Big. I got a call.
Dre, did you see the video I sent you about the shark? How to turn the shark away? I think I sent it to
Oh,
Trot too.
yeah. I had
Book,
seen it already.
book.
Yeah.
Nah, that's how you do it, man. Y'all need to quit arguing with experts.
I'm not arguing with them. I'm just saying that I'm not gonna put myself in that
Morning,
predicament.
brother.
That's never gonna happen.
Morning.
No, I'm kidding. I know nothing about sharks. So the only thing, I guess I can't say nothing. One thing I do know is they attack better if you're above them. So I guess try not to be above.
Try not to go in the ocean. Period.
Yeah.
Try not swimming.
Get you some of those. I don't know if y'all see the movie Men of Honor. Where it's got Cuban Junior's in there, and he's trying to become like this dive person in the Navy. So you need some of those boots so you can stay down there, man. Oh
Not
shoot!
happening.
I'm telling y'all think I'm playing, bro. I'm so done with the ocean. Like I'm done. Like me and the ocean, and we have been divorced. Like it's
Oh yeah.
done, man.
Well, I
It's
love
I'm
it,
not
but
even
just for my
kidding.
feet, just to watch it, to hear the sound, to enjoy the beauty of it. But and I love to go on
Yeah.
boats, but that's
No, I'm
it. I
being
don't
dead
I don't want to
serious.
be a part of.
I dislike saying that. I'm gonna be completely honest. But me and the ocean is done. Even snorkeling, 20 feet from the shore, done. All that's done. I'm not
I've
doing it
done all that.
anymore.
Uh-huh.
So
No
it's
more.
so done, dude. It's not
Trot, just
worth
try
it.
to figure out a new covenant with it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I think if somebody was to take some of that water and put it in, I don't know, like a hole in the ground somewhere closer, to where the people are, and we can call that a part of the ocean, but it's actually not connected, then yeah, okay, then I can say I'm gonna go swimming in the ocean. But being connected to God knows what, no, no, done with that. I've seen too many stories. This guy's like, and there I was just minding my business. Look at that, just minding my business. And the
Fine,
shark
my
was like, shark's like, I'm not sure
Bro,
what that is, but I'm
I'm
gonna take a
telling you
bite
right.
out of it.
I'm telling you right
just
now,
in case.
I'm never gonna be done with the ocean, bro. Personally, I'm never gonna be done with the ocean. I grew up by the ocean. I
I
can't,
mean, I could
bro.
look at it all day.
Listen, here's the thing. For me, at the end of the day, to live is Christ, to die is gain.
Oh
Yeah, but
my
what?
lord.
Oh my goodness gracious! He
Dramático.
went straight to the
Qué
jugular.
dramático.
What did you say?
He went straight to the jugular.
Dramático.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Dre,
That's right.
Dre, Dre went to the jugular, and he's like, "It's all about Christ anyway. The heck with that ocean."
If it's the
I mean,
Lord's
like, you
will,
just hear
he'll
just
allow
hear
the
this.
Dre
shark
is
to eat
floating,
me.
man. There's no humanity part of him. He's totally in the spirit.
Yeah.
There's no enmity with that flesh.
Hey, Jesus calmed the seas, man. He can calm that ocean and everything in it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
well,
That's
I'm
true.
gonna play in the ocean that's in heaven. That ocean, the one he's already calmed. You know, the sharks are chilling. They ain't crazy up there.
In the
I'm
end,
getting crazy.
So,
you come
so
out with
there's
the
the
lion
covenant.
back,
There's the
and no
covenant with
one's
the
gonna
ocean
come
right
after
there.
you.
Well,
You're gonna
my
ride
thing
them.
is, if it's the Lord's will for me to be ate by the shark, then I will.
Oh my Lord.
Oh my
Oh
God, have
my
mercy.
goodness.
Yeah, you know why I haven't been.
It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
like the
know why
guy
I
that's
haven't
in
been
the
eaten by.
ocean.
Yeah, the reason why I haven't been eaten by a shark is God hadn't allowed them to eat
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
That's
So
why.
you, so
It's
you,
like that guy that's in the middle of the ocean, and God sends him 3 people to rescue him,
yeah.
and he doesn't grab onto any of them, and then he gets to heaven and goes,
Like,
"Man, what
why
happened?" He
did you
goes,
not
"Man,
save
I
me?
sent them. What was your problem?"
Yeah,
So you should be
exactly.
good swimming in a pool with sharks then.
Hey, Dre, do
Yeah.
you think he's gonna he predestined you to be eaten by a shark?
The Lord already knows my
He,
time and
he,
my
fore,
day and my hour.
he
Amen.
foresaw it.
That's right. It's because the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Oh,
That's right.
I could see Dre right now. He's not
Oh
even
man.
walking. He's
Hey,
just
Job said
gliding
it.
on air.
Job said it, man.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Job said it.
my faith fails me with crocodiles, not sharks.
oh,
Oh,
Ooh.
Crocodile tears, you
wait a
mean?
minute.
Crocodile tears.
Nah,
Lord
I'm
have
scared of the
mercy.
crocs, bro. I don't fool with the crocs, bro. Just like trout don't fool with the ocean, I don't fool with the crocs, bro. I leave them alone. That's the devil right
Interesting.
there. That's the Leviathan.
I don't fool with them either. I don't
I
fool
don't
with
like,
either one of them.
I don't like snakes and spiders.
Snakes don't bother me. Spiders don't bother me either.
Nah, I kill snakes and spiders every day. I ain't doing no
I,
trivial snakes and spiders.
I ain't saying, I didn't say I was scared of them. I said I don't do them.
I don't do that. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If there was a a gigger, I don't know if y'all know what a frog gigger is, but if there was a gigger big enough, I'd be gigging me some sharks. But I don't think they make giggers that big, dude. So, hey, you know what? Hey, they make harpoon guns, but
I make them boys
you
pretty
know
big.
they make those pretty big. Maybe if I learn how to shoot one of those things, maybe. But going in the water ill-equipped, oh no, somebody's gonna have to come to me with like some kind of like underwater laser gun, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, things have
Okay, cool.
changed.
I'm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
At
the
that
heck with
point,
that.
Trot, at that point, you'll be going on patrol. You won't be actually having fun.
We'll be going
Yeah,
searching for sharks.
yeah, I'll be hunting shark. You hear me? Shoot.
You'll be swimming through the
Hey,
Start
ocean.
calling Trot Moby Dick.
yeah. Hey, Mike said, just stand your ground and tell the gator you better not.
You better
Nah,
Yeah,
not,
Trot's not
right.
bro.
Moby Dick, man. He's
You
the
better
narrator.
not, bro.
Trot's the narrator of the story.
Oh my! Yeah, right. Exactly. And I'm the one that's gonna get bit. And there he was, just a lonely, What do you call him? The whitetail. Just a lonely. Not the great white? What's the other one called? The whitetail or white tip? White tip. There he was, just a lonely white tip, just minding his. That's me. That's me right there. That was me. That's me. Paying attention to all the sharks, and then they ambushed me.
Sounded like Trump getting bit by a shark right there.
The one Dre's the one that's gonna after they retrieve the shark. He's like, I believe this will become oil in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, in the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they used to hunt them for oil.
What? They used to what?
What did
Hunt
you
the
say?
sharks for oil.
Or
Hold on a
oil.
second.
I thought
They
you
used
said
to hunt.
Oreos.
They
Nah,
used
they
to
used
hunt
to hunt them for oil.
like
The
fish
purpose,
oil.
yes, it was for the lard, to make oil out of them and soap and all that stuff.
You
Oh
figure
yeah.
Yeah,
you
you
they
can take
I
they
their
think
you
you're
can take
thinking
their
of
fat.
horses.
No,
No,
you
the
no.
a
sharks.
whale.
The sharks were hunted for oil.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
Jesse
sharks
knows
figure
and
that'd
this.
be
whales.
whales.
Sharks and whales.
Whales got all the but
Oh,
whales
wait a
Right.
got
minute,
all the
wait a minute. I
oil if
think
that's
I'm
the
getting
case.
the whales
I
confused with the
think I think
sharks.
Jesse's been
Yeah,
watching
I
too
think
much
I'm getting. Yeah, I
Discovery
think
Channel
I'm.
or something.
But I
Too
think
much
Yeah.
some of the
TikTok.
sharks, but it was mostly the
Nah, she
whales. I'm sorry.
nah
I'm
she nah
thinking
she
of
watched that
the
show How
whales.
It's Made, bro. How It's Made.
How it's made.
Yeah, they turn their blubber. They use the blubber
Yeah.
and they use that for energy and make it into oil and
Oh yeah,
for all
I
their
got the
yeah.
whale completely confused with the shark.
I was like, wait a minute.
One's a mammal, the other one's not. Oh Lord have mercy.
That's all right.
Poor Free Willy.
More for you, Willie. So, I went through Is it Jehu? Is that Second Kings 9? Hold on.
Okay.
Did you see the
Let me
part when
pull this
God
up.
spoke to the angels? I think that's pretty cool in Second Kings, and also First
No,
Chronicles has
no.
that also. You never read that when God speaks to the angels and they speak back to him?
I mean, yeah, I've read all of the Bible,
You just probably don't remember.
but
Well, we don't remember
I
everything we
wasn't reading
read.
that last
There's a
night,
lot.
so I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Okay.
But
That's
anyway,
it. That's
back
what
to
happened.
what you were saying.
Hold on, I'm getting there. I'm pulling it up. I don't know what's going on. My bookmarks are not popping up right now. There we go.
I would love to hear what his choir sounds like.
My choir? I don't have a choir.
You said your worship leader.
Yeah, that don't mean I have
Well,
a choir.
it's good. Your
All right,
worship people, whatever you call them nowadays. Your backup.
I'll back up. Yeah, they're pretty
People
good.
don't have choirs anymore, man. They're rock stars in churches now.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
they threw away all their hymn books. The hymn books. They threw
uh
away all the books, all the hymns.
yeah.
Anyway, Jehu was a guy in the Old Testament, and he just destroyed a bunch of people.
Yeah, dude, Jehu's story is pretty cool. Why don't you give us a short synopsis of it?
Well, I kind of just did, but
Oh, that was it?
yeah.
That was it? That was the synopsis? I mean, I appreciate the point 0.5 summary you gave.
Oh,
That was a 3.1 summary he just gave.
Yeah. That's a 3.1. Nah, bro. Like a 0.1.
no. Shearing house of binding. I was doing more looking up of words, kind of also, but I noticed a few things in there.
Well, no, I'm not saying talking about spiritual notations. I'm saying why don't you
Oh, okay.
talk about the
So,
story a little bit?
okay. So Jehu is a
So
son of.
be a narrator for a little bit is what he's asking you to do. Narrate the story.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
Jehu is
bro.
the
Look,
son of Jehoshaphat.
if Jehud's story was to become a movie, give us the plot, okay? The plot,
Oh,
sir.
Lord. The plot. Okay. Well, the plot of this movie is Jezebel getting tossed down from getting tossed
She's so
down.
out of there. She's so out of there, dude.
That was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting.
Well,
That
Oh,
was
CJ,
a
I can
short
tell you one
track.
thing, CJ. I can
Listen,
tell you
he
one thing,
gave us a
CJ.
I'm
very
getting
Hold on,
there.
short track.
hold on. I can tell you
Okay,
one
so
thing, CJ.
I'm not a storyteller. I don't know
I'm
what's
sure. You,
happening.
listen, CJ. I'm sure you're a very talented worshiper, but storyteller and narrator, bro, keep your day job, brother. Because you literally said Jehu did kill some kings, and then it was like, okay, narrate. And Jezebel, she's out of there.
You know what? You know what the
That's
problem
not good
was,
enough.
guys? You need
What's
to
the?
ask
That's
him.
not good
You know
enough.
what it is?
No, bro.
No,
It's not.
no. I got it.
Okay.
We need to ask him. Give us the choir part of the story.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The
okay,
Hey, bro. Why
okay.
don't
I
you?
got
Hey,
you. I
the
got
chorus.
you.
hey.
Give us the chorus part of the
Nah.
story.
Yeah, yeah.
You want
Hey,
me
go
to
get your.
give
Hey,
you the
Give
bro.
us
Go
the
note?
get your.
chorus. I meant to say chorus, not choir.
Yeah, go
Give
get
us
your
the
banjo,
chorus
bro, and
part.
then give it to us in a song, bro.
I need a harp.
Give it to
I
us
need
in
a
a
harp.
chorus.
Yeah.
All right. So Jehu's the son of Jehoshaphat.
Now he got it now.
Yeah, I don't need.
He.
Listen, I don't need a biography, bro. I just need a plot, not a
I know. I
biography.
know.
Okay. All right.
Elisha was called to anoint him with oil, and he became the king. And they all came out and declared him king. Got their horns and everything. The townsfolk. Um. Let's see. He. Yep. There we go. So then they plot to kill Joram, however you want to say his name, um, who was healed from his wounds because he was attacked by the king of Egypt, I believe. Sorry, that one's a little sketchy. So then they come out. Jehu goes to where Jerome is, and Jerome sends out 3 watchmen, and they ask if there's peace. Is it peace? And each time Jehu is like, "What do you have with peace? What do you know about peace?" So then the last time he goes in and kills him. So
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I want everybody.
just in case you need. And then Jezebel gets tossed down.
There you go, bro. That was your sound. That was your
There we
sound
go.
right there, bro. I think you did amazing.
Jezebel gets tossed down, and then you got that's chapter 9. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I'm sorry, you weren't done. I apologize.
No, that's chapter
I
9.
thought that were.
Jezebel
I thought
dies.
we were starting the show. My bad. Jezebel.
It's the main part of the story. That's the plot.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, they utilized
But
a lightsaber.
but the only thing that they could find see on
there's
her was
more.
her hands. Well, that was the interesting part. Her feet and her hands, the palms of her hands, were the only thing they could find. Skull. Also.
Hands,
Feet in
skull.
her
That's a
hands were the only
No.
things that they found.
And the skull, but ignore that part. The interesting part is the
Ignore
feet
that part.
and the feet and the hands. I thought that was interesting.
What's the shadow behind that?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that's
Maybe we
that's
should
too
go
easy.
through.
Yeah, we could. But today we're talking about Enoch.
Yeah, today
Dun,
we're
dun.
Enoch.
Talking about
Not me
Enoch.
though. I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Oh, well,
Enoch
then you
was
listen.
a righteous man, and he was taken. Walked right with God, and was taken. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well.
chariot of fire. There you go.
Oh my Lord, chariot of fire. What?
Forgot
We're gonna
about
mix
that.
all the stories. We're gonna mix all the stories. Yeah. Let me see.
I could definitely
Everybody gonna be
read
quiet
it.
all of a sudden.
I could definitely read it. I said I could definitely read it, but I'm not going to give my summary of it. I would have to know that I was doing that in advance, like while I was going through it yesterday.
Going through it, you
So
needed to
track.
take the notes.
Yeah.
Nah.
The
I wasn't going through it to take notes. I'm going to go
so
through it with my red pen.
So, the two witnesses in the book of Revelation is Moses and Elijah, right?
Oh,
This is what I'll say about that. That there are two witnesses. That's what I'll say about
I
that.
see you. I see you. All of a sudden, got the CJ anointing.
Oh yeah. What anointing is that?
Bad storytelling.
oh my.
That wasn't a story. That was a statement. That wasn't a story. It was a statement, sir.
I guess bad summering. Big Bill,
Bad
what's up,
summary.
man? Where you been at, Bill?
God bless everybody. How's everybody doing? Little hiatus, brother. Sometimes, you get caught up in the storm and it takes you
Sometimes you feel
off
like a nut.
course.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't.
Almonds got joy, mounts don't.
Yeah.
Looking good. What I missed?
Nothing at all.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Do you mean this
Due
whole
to
last week? I didn't miss nothing?
listen. After that live that happened a couple of days ago, they had some Catholic guy up here or some ex-Catholic talking about the Catholic Church created Islam. That just started a whole war again on the other side of TikTok.
What? Really?
Man.
Yeah.
Bro.
I've seen a few videos.
They started calling us poo-poo stints. We're poo-poo Protestants, that we're going to hell, that we don't accept their Holy Mother, and that because we don't accept the Holy Mother, how dare you?
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Their holy mother.
Yep. You talk bad about my lady, and now, whatever. I'm like, oh, all right. It's like that, then it's up. No problem.
Good.
Yeah.
And the voice of Trot. Oh, God.
Yeah. You should have just told them, you should have just took it back to more simple things and said that you want your He-Man back and you no longer want to play. That's what I would have told them. Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to play all right.
Uh-oh, my bad. Okay, sad? Never mind.
I like stirring it up. Dre, I like stirring it up a little bit more.
Obviously wants to stir it up. Well, let me
I
be
would
far
stir it
from
up
it.
more. I would tell them, well, the next thing you'll be saying is that Jesus didn't have any half brothers.
Dre's gonna throw sand. Dre's gonna throw sand up in the air, and when they look up, he's gonna say, "That's not my fault."
Yeah, no, Dre's gonna take all their toys out of the sandbox and just chunk them out of the box. That's what he's gonna do. That's what he's gonna do. Better not.
100%. I'm about to grab everybody's toy. They're flying, bro.
I know, bro. I can tell.
Their toys are gonna become Barbies. Oh, this one's alive. That one's alive. We're taking this one captive. That one's going to the tower.
Dre's gonna go.
Wait a minute. What kind of Barbies? What kind of Barbies are they gonna become?
It don't
the
matter.
modern ones.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was chilling like David, bro. I was just bringing bread and feeding everybody, and then some big Philistine came out and attacked my God. You can't just come out and attack my God. It's just,
Dre, you should videotape you with the monitos knocking them down, saying, bro, they lighting candles to this?
Last night, I said, you know what?
Don't listen to Bill, bro.
Listen to Bill.
Don't do that.
Listen to your brother.
Hey, Trot, last night I was like, okay, no problem. Where's the ephod and the rod? Because I'm about to come.
Where's the ephod? I need Goliath. Hey, I need Goliath's sword because there's not one like it.
Right.
There's not another one like it.
He's just gonna start with the stones, man. He's just doing the stones first. The sword comes afterwards.
Talking about stones, Brother Revival, God bless you. I hope everything works out, and trust in the Lord, man.
Bro,
Everything will
Trust in the
work
Lord
out.
with all thy heart and all thine understanding. Lean
Bill,
not into
my mom used to always say, my mom always says, she says, dejen quieto al que está quieto.
Y no lo molesten.
Right, bro? Like,
No
don't
lo
Right.
molesten. El que está quieto, mira, que
How many
el que no
times?
ladra, el que
How
ladra
many?
muerde, pero el
How
que no
many?
ladra muerde.
Man, we need an
How
interpreter.
many times we gotta be
The
He tried.
repeated?
translation, the
We need an
translation
Lay a
interpreter.
lying
is,
dog lie.
is,
Lay a lying dog lie.
yeah, basically.
Don't bother
Yep.
him.
Don't bother him.
Oh
If he ain't
God.
barking, don't bother him. Because when he starts, those that bark don't bite, but the ones that don't bark, they do bite.
He tried.
Please,
Yeah.
I hope I get the invite, Drake, because I want to come and support you.
No, I'm not
No,
gonna
you don't.
attack anybody, but I
No,
am
you.
gonna start exposing truth, bro. I'm gonna start preaching the truth, bro, about some of the church history.
You always have. They just can't
So,
hear you.
yeah.
He tried. I
Yeah.
believe one in the I
Dre, you
believe one
gonna
in the
sound
flock
church
might be
petty?
on. I believe one in the flock might be onto something in regards to the two witnesses.
Yeah, I like that transfiguration
What?
that we read yesterday can kind of like maybe guide us into that a little bit. I have a spiritual discernment that might be the
I
key.
have a spiritual
Oh,
discernment. It's like, hey,
hey,
I want everybody to know that I have a spiritual discernment on this part right here.
this one part. I think you
Yeah.
need
You just have to
need.
just
I
gonna
think you
put
need
you
a
on.
little more honing.
Look, let me show you. Let me show you the like the two witness argument. I'll show you something which everybody already knows. So
Hmm.
that I'm gonna say it's not like
Ah,
you ain't never heard it before. So
never heard it.
well, no,
Then go read your Bible,
I'm
sir.
talking about like
Oh, oh,
yeah. So when Jesus said, "Who do people say that I am?" So if you go take you know people from different beliefs and you ask all of them and you say, hey, who do people say that Jesus is? You're going to get 10 answers.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he puts it plainly who he is, but it's not plainly to your carnal mind. It's not. But when you're familiar with the way he writes, you know exactly what he's saying. And so people that can't see who he is, like for instance, there are people that call themselves Christians, okay, and they say that Jesus is not God, right? And they do what Islamic believers do, and they try to talk you out of it. Like it's so clear that he is, but in their much convincing, man, they can talk you out from believing that he is. And they have like these little in their mind, these little clever viewpoints of, it's kind of like an atheist. I'm just using an atheist for an example because Islamic believers kind of say things like this too, but it's mainly an atheist that will say, can God create a rock that is too heavy for him to pick it up? And then, they think it's like this clever way of like showing you that he's not all powerful or just a weird. And then so you can say, yes, he can. Okay, well, if he can create a rock so heavy that he can't pick up, then he's not God. And you're like, well, yeah, but because he is God, now he can pick it up. So he made a rock that was too. This is the ridiculous philosophy that the arguments. So it's like, no, but see, you got to understand, he made a rock that was too big, but because he is God, he can pick it up. But he did make a rock that was too heavy for himself. He did, but he's God and he picked it up. And they're like, that don't make any sense. And I mean, man, that's kind of like arguing. Like, what is the most ridiculous? Like, no, because that ain't gonna make sense. That's like saying, like for instance, our fingernails on our hand. Like, how come they all kind of start on everybody's finger in the same? How come they didn't start another inch further back? Like, how come the initial part of our nail is not an inch longer than it should be. And it's like, bro, like you can go ahead and have fun with that argument, but to be honest, when it comes to that, I don't care. Like I don't care why my fingernails didn't start growing, you know, a little closer to that first knuckle. Hold on, what is that saying? Oh, like I really don't care. And so you can catch yourself arguing about things that, dude, like just don't make any sense. That's why I always say, if we're just gonna waste time, my Ninja Turtle will beat up your Ninja Turtle. If we're just gonna sit here and not edify, then I can do that in this world. Like the world we live in, we all do it. If anybody was to tell me that they don't do this, they are lying. Period. I don't care if you do it with your kids. I don't care if you do it with your spouse. Everybody does it. Everybody has a debate or argument in this world, but most people don't take it to heart. That's why they do it. It's just an entertainment. If somebody was playing me chess again, and they're getting the best of me, I'm going to start talking some trash to them. Okay, because I'm trying to get them. I'm trying to knock them off balance mentally, so I can come back and hopefully, you know, save myself from getting beat. But we're not sitting there arguing for real, like I hate this person, and you know, and I understand that. But when you start doing that with the Bible, like, man, I'll just go play some chess. Like some of those things don't matter. I'm saying all that to say this: the two witnesses is the same. It's the same thing. Who do people say that I am? Those people will argue in that room for 10 hours all day and then do it the next day and the next day, proving who they believe Jesus is. But there's only one truth. And to this day, people will do the same thing with the two witnesses. All day, every day, nonstop. It'll never stop. No, everybody is not going to hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and come to an agreement on the two witnesses. Just like it's not going to happen with who Jesus is, just like it's not going to happen with water baptism or the rest of them. And, you know, do yourself a favor. There's people that are trying to learn about God, and you know what we have in common with them? We all debate about chess or football or whatever it is. I don't care if they go play pickle or they do underwater basket weaving, and somebody's like, oh, well, if you add a teaspoon of olive oil, it'll make the leaves slide better and you can make the basket faster. No, not olive oil. You want to use flaxseed oil. It's more greasy, you know, and they debate about something. So keep that on that level. But someone's trying to be a believer and like a fool or sitting here arguing about the Bible. That's the point. So like when people say, oh, well, why are y'all arguing? What are we arguing about? Well, y'all are arguing about chess. Yes, because I think I'm better than that person. Yeah, but that's, you know, you gotta, okay, there's the problem again. Nobody's hating each other. But I'm telling you, when it comes to that Bible, it's so funny. We know how to argue and debate over chess and sports. You know, we know how to argue and debate over that, car racing, whatever it is. But then you get to the Bible, notice how it ain't just argue no more. Like people get hateful, man. They get hateful and they don't want to hang out with each other no more. Like it's just a different monster. It becomes real personal. Same thing it is with politics. Hold on a second.
I've never heard Flip argue at all.
No, man. Actually, I saw a
Jay, you
video
see my
that
comment?
Flip is he just kind of like just listens and then he goes, "Cool, man, bro. I
Yeah.
get you, bro. But you know that's not my understanding. But that's all right, bro. It's all right,
Yeah.
bro. And just moves
Like
on.
matter of fact statements.
Yeah, it's like okay, bro.
According to my calculations.
Bro, it's all right, bro. Don't worry about
All
it,
right,
bro.
bro.
I don't agree with you,
I
bro.
don't
But
see
it's
it
all
that
right.
way, but
I know
that's
why.
fine.
Yeah, well,
Right.
because you understand, Flip used to be in the other part of
Yeah.
life. And
Yeah.
so him arguing is a whole other connotation.
Yeah.
Well, he
So
knows
he
that
just let it
arguing
go.
just Arguing is just putting
Fruitful.
wood in the fire. He knows it's not going to get you anywhere. He learned his
Well,
lesson.
no,
He
Jess,
learned
that's
his
not
lesson
it.
in life.
Yes, he's been through a lot. So arguing for him back in the day led to other things. So he'll just rather just let it go because
Exactly,
he's been
because he
places
learned,
where nobody else has been.
and not only that, but he learned the lesson in a different matter. But he learned it the right way. He learned not to. It's not worth it. He learned his lesson. Some of us learn that way. Some of us learn other ways. But what it boils down to is, did you learn your lesson? And he learned it. He learned it, and he's sharing it now with others so that they can learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been telling
Amen.
Flip to go back and go visit and
Are we
go
talking about Flipmaster right there? Flip 619?
yes,
Yeah.
Flip.
What did I miss? Flip?
Flip
He's
doesn't
a
I'm
saint.
argue.
stick.
Flip is a
Flip is
saint.
Flip does not argue. Flip is cool, and he knows how
Flip
to
never
divert
argues. Flip is
the
the
Look,
argument
he
bro.
without
hasn't said
even
one
blinking
He
an
word.
eye,
never
man.
raises his voice. It's always one
No,
mellow
no.
tone.
He's an
Always
example.
complimenting everybody else. Bro.
Saint Flippermus.
Saint Flip.
Hey, that's because I'm slow to speak, man.
You gotta be.
Oh,
That's good
nice.
for you. That's good for you.
Yeah, bruh.
Not because his speech
Somebody's been through
improved.
Proverbs.
I'm telling you,
Bruh.
bruh, it definitely was in that movie. What's the movie about the little fishes? Something Nemo.
Flip.
he was he was
Somebody
he was the
said,
turtle.
Finding Nemo.
yeah.
He's definitely the turtle. Yeah, bro. No
Somebody,
problem.
yeah, the turtle. Somebody said Flip is a flat earther, and somebody also said
That's
Flip never
that
flops.
that's that Cali air, bro. That Cali air keeps you cool.
It
Yeah,
keeps you calm.
that's because Snoop Dogg lives there. That's why. I wa I wa I watched a video. Jeez, I watched a video that explained why they like displayed the turtle in Nemo as like being relaxed or high, essentially. But there's something about like whether how they eat or something like that that produces that in their body, and so they're just always chill. I was like, what?
So you're saying that the turtles release some type of endorphin?
Yeah,
Okay.
fairly interesting. So Enoch, where did track go? We can start, I guess. Or
He
the
said, hold on.
jellyfish release something,
I think it's Enoch.
or
He
they
said, hold
eat the
on.
jellyfish that releases something. Maybe it's that. They smoke a lot of grass in Cali.
Why
That
you always getting
Hebrew
on
hippie.
California?
Yo,
Remember Hebrew hippie when he came up with that joke about the grass? Who was the first? I don't remember the punchline, man.
oh
If
man,
any of you guys remember that one, it
I
was so
know.
funny. It was funny. Maybe Trot remember.
What, the Cheech and Chong movies?
John smoking a jellyfish. No,
No,
yeah, John,
it
chill.
was in the tone of who was the first one in the Bible to ever wait a minute, I remember it. Who was the husband of Jezebel? No, it wasn't the husband of Jezebel. Yeah, it was him, wasn't he? The king or the one from Babylon that he for 7 years he
Ahab.
ate grass. Who ate grass for 7 years?
Oh,
Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar. Was it
yeah,
Nebuchadnezzar?
Nebuchadnezzar.
He was the first one to ever do grass and the
Oh,
Bible.
oh, egress. But I did. Okay, so here I can share something else I learned from Jehu. If you zoom out, it's a telling of Jesus coming both times.
Hey, CJ, lull me to sleep, man. You gotta sing me a song.
No, 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 no. That's
CJ
not
said,
happening.
no, 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 no.
Hey, that
Not on
song,
my
na na na
watch.
na na, na 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 na, na 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 na,
There you
na
go.
na 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 na.
Hey, I got a question.
What's up?
Yeah, Holy Spirit. Activate.
What happened to Lot's two sons?
They went to California.
Oh my.
Water surfing.
Oh my gosh. And tried to work to flip. They flip all the time.
So what happened to them?
They went out partying all night and missed it.
Hey, they're the two
Oh,
witnesses.
well,
I
there you
like
go.
that. That's the two witnesses.
Bruh.
They're the two
Bruh.
witnesses. Sure you get home on time.
Bruh, what's up with that, man? Hey, sister, Mimi, yeah. All California is going to Texas, man. Straight
Yep.
up.
I
And
don't
all
know
the New
why.
Yorkers came to Florida.
Hey,
Yeah,
Flip.
because a
Texas
lot of
has more.
Cubans in New York.
Texas has more roll tolls than we do.
Yep.
Flip.
Yo.
Any more word on if you got a little one coming?
Yeah, so she took the test and there was like a faint line. You know how there's like a dark line and there's like another line
Pregnant.
that's like, huh?
She's pregnant. It's
Yeah, I
faint.
guess so.
It's yeah, baby.
Say,
Oh,
It's
congrats,
okay.
bro.
No, it's faint now because it's too early. But if she takes it again in 3 weeks, there will be more hormones, and then yes. So make sure
Oh
you
my
put
God.
your Amazon wish list in your thing so we can send you baby gifts.
yeah. Uh,
Oh my God.
Also, start
Doug
getting
said
ready. Stock up
octuplets.
on the weirdest types of food and stuff
Nah,
like
you don't
that.
need to
In
do
the
all
middle of the
that
night,
stuff.
you have it in the house.
We just need
Bro,
milk.
get a lot and put a lot of diapers on that wish list, bro. A
Definitely
lot of diapers and
diapers.
wipes and
Yes,
milk.
diapers,
Milk is,
Hey,
you know
wipes,
how
make
expensive
sure
the
bottles.
make
milk
sure you got
is?
a big diaper keg, bro. A big diaper keg,
Yes.
man.
And make sure that
Oh
you got
man.
a lot of milk because
It's okay,
if
Flip.
she's not
It's okay.
lactating, man, that milk is expensive. Ooh, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so nervous.
Definitely, definitely try breastfeeding feeding if you can at all possible.
Hey,
There's
Flip.
definitely
If
I
it
there's
know
makes you
also.
feel
everybody's saying
any
about her breastfeeding. That's on her. Flip won't have no control over that one.
I know.
Flip, if it makes you feel any
Flip
better,
cannot
buddy,
She's
I'm
have
actually.
having twins in November.
Oh wow, congrats, man.
Yeah, dude.
Twins,
Hey,
huh?
That'll make 4 kids total.
nice.
Wow.
So you can do this, bro. You can do this, brother. You can do it.
Yeah, you
You
got it.
got this, Flip. You got this.
Man,
You're
I
gonna be an
still got
awesome
goals
dad.
though, you know?
I sent both of y'all
Stop.
some hot
Don't
chili.
do that.
There.
You'll be an
Because
awesome dad.
y'all,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
This one.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is what you have to look forward to. Where is he at?
Show him, CJ. Show him, buddy.
Bro, Flip, and don't worry about it. You got sister misunderstood close to you in California.
Absolutely.
You got her right there, bro.
Absolutely.
She's not gonna not extend her arm
look
of
at CJ's,
Yeah,
look at
she's
CJ
gonna
Fox.
babysit.
Look at CJ Fox.
You know
she's
what?
right
Look at
there,
Yes.
CJ
man.
Fox.
I have a house full of girls and I have a
Keep
grandbaby.
those down.
Don't you even worry about this. Y'all got this?
You got
Yeah.
it. I mean, we're joking with you, brother, when we say what we
Yeah.
say. But
You good.
remember that the scripture
It's
tells us,
fun.
take no thought for tomorrow. For tomorrow will
It's
take care of itself, man.
it's fun.
Just
You
walk
don't
in
have to
that.
worry about it.
Hey, what I miss? What I miss? Flip having triplets or quadruplets or what?
I heard
Yeah, dude.
octuplets.
Oh
Septuplets, bro.
I heard
Septuplets.
octuplets.
Yeah.
Octuplets.
no.
That's what I heard.
No, listen,
Nat's
no, no.
having double
No,
portion
please no.
Dec
in November,
what would it be? Deca
and
Don't scare him,
Flip
y'all. Don't scare
Deca
him.
Flip got his
Decatuplets.
first gift from heaven.
Misunderstood. Flip is dying over there right now.
Yo, one in
Flip,
the
I
flock
got
said
you.
he's having
Don't
two.
worry
One
about
in the
it.
flock said he's having two
I
witnesses.
know you got him. You got him. The two witnesses.
Someone said he's having little fliplets. Little
Just you
fliplets.
already know.
He's
Flip,
having
I
the
like
two
that.
I know you
witnesses,
got him.
bro.
Daddy Flip.
I like that. Little
Daddy
fliplets.
Flip, bro. I'm gonna call you Daddy Flip. Pope Flip.
Daddy
Puts
Flip.
in the right place.
No.
God
Daddy
puts us
Flip
in the right place.
masterpiece.
No, man.
That's all
I'm
right, Pope.
freaking out. You just be honest.
Her name's gonna be Willow. Nah, bro, it's gonna be a trot, whether regardless if it's a boy or a girl.
Oh
If it's a
my
boy, call
word.
him Cody. If you're moving to Texas, call him Cody or Wesley. Get him ready for Texas. Cody or Wesley.
Cody or Wesley.
Yeah,
And if it's a little
and
girl,
if it's
call
a
her
boy,
Zoe. If it's a little
if
girl,
if
call
it's
her
a boy, I
Zoe.
want to name him Josiah.
Oh, okay, then you know you're not
Okay.
getting
No, if it's
ready.
a,
You're
if
not
it's a
getting.
boy,
You're
it'll be
getting
Trot. If
ready
it's a
for
girl, it'll be
heaven.
Trotter.
Trotter.
No, if it's a
Trot,
boy,
yeah.
it'd be Trot. If it's a girl, it'd be Trotta.
Trotta.
Yeah, Trotter. Yeah.
You go Trotta.
The A is feminine,
Hey,
right? The
Trotta.
O is masculine.
Trotter.
Yeah.
Trotter.
Oh my word.
Yeah,
I'm trying
So
to
she'll
help
be
him.
due. So she'll be due in March or April.
Let's go. Hey.
If
Mine-
it's April, that's gonna be the wifey's birthday.
Mine
John said,
was
"Don't
April 9th.
generalize."
I had my daughter a day before my birthday, Flip. She was born on the 7th, and I was born on the 8th.
Amen.
Of April?
No, of September.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
my
so
birthday
wait,
present.
hold on. I wasn't here. So is it official?
Yeah, well,
A faint line.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
Dre.
official. It is official.
Let's go.
Daddy Flip. Daddy Flip.
One in the flock said it would be a
Ryan?
Trotiana.
Yo,
El
so we gotta
Trotto.
change.
Go
We
watch.
gotta
Go
change
watch.
Ryan.
Finding Nemo.
Hey, we gotta
Listen.
change Ryan's name.
Bro,
Instead of
just go watch.
Ryan Big Nat, Big Nat. It should be Ryan Double Portion Nat.
Just go watch. Listen, just start watching Finding Nemo from now, and just look at how the turtle dad interacts with the little turtle son.
Yeah.
And it'll get you ready, man. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
You'll be good.
And if
You'll
it's a
be fine.
girl,
Oh, man.
go see like that Ice and learn the song "Let It Go."
I got
yes.
it. I got you.
If you have a daughter,
Yeah.
you're going to have to get all the Frozen, Barbie movies,
No.
all of that stuff.
No.
Yeah, I have
Oh, my
3
Lord.
daughters.
No, Bobby.
Yeah, you're gonna watch the Ten Commandments. The old school.
Yeah, there
That's
you
right.
go. There
That's
you
right.
go. Get her
They're gonna do
Moses.
Okay.
10. They're gonna do
Well,
10 sets of
have your
10.
Charlton
friends.
Heston.
Delilah and Samson. He's gonna
Yeah.
watch the Ten Commandments, the Robe. He's gonna watch
Moses.
You're going to watch
Esther,
Blue's Clues.
Moses,
You're going to
all
watch
the
Disney
Christian
Channel.
movies.
You're going to watch,
Noah.
what's that little thing
No
about the
Disney
little...
Channel, man. No Disney, man. We don't do Disney. We don't do Disney. Too much witchcraft on
Congratulations,
Disney.
Congratulations, Flip, man. Real talk. That's
Yeah.
Yes,
cool,
congratulations. Veggie Tales,
Amen.
thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Hey,
Thank
so
you.
just to clarify, Flip, we are saying that this has been confirmed through what method?
She took a pregnancy test yesterday.
Hello.
And it was confirmed.
Half
Yeah,
a
there's
line.
like
That
a
barely
dark line,
we can
there's like a
see
thin
line.
line.
The barely we can see
Yeah.
line that in the future will become darker. That's the method he's going by.
Oh,
The
Lord.
barely we can see line method.
Hey, from what I heard, like that when they say, like when the instructions say, like,
right.
even if you can barely see it, they're saying that that's still a that's still a possibility.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
No, Mike.
Yes,
Yeah.
so in 2 weeks it
But-
will be
but I
more.
don't-
It will be more defined in 2 weeks.
Well, one in the flock said every time I had a faint line, it was always positive.
Same here.
It's the truth. It's the truth, right, Misfit? It's the truth. I mean, misunderstood.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, my daughter took three pregnancy tests. One was faint, and then 2 days later, the faint line got a little bit darker. I had her wait a week, and there it was, and my grandbaby here.
Oh
So yeah,
wow. Well, I'm surrendering this baby to God, man.
Yeah,
I give it to God.
dedication, first fruit. Good
All
choice.
right, so are we ready to talk about some more coincidences?
Uh,
Yeah, dude. So the two witnesses are the Ninja
what?
Turtles and Splinter, right?
No, bro.
Oh,
How do y'all still not know the two witnesses when it comes to
No,
Ninja Turtles, bro? The
dude, I
two
was.
witnesses is Shredder and Splinter, bro. Those are the two witnesses, man. The rest of them are disciples.
Yeah. It's the Jews and the Christians, right?
No, bro. It's the Ninja Turtles
oh,
and the Foot. Okay, Ninja Turtles and
oh,
the Foot.
oh, oh. All right. So Genesis,
Enoch,
is that where we're
Enoch.
going?
Let's do Enoch.
All right, so uh,
Oh my Lord.
so let's talk. Yeah, no. So Enoch is, first of all, Enoch is not just 3 verses. Okay. Even though when people say yes, it is, and they're like right here, Hebrews, Genesis, and they're like, that's the only verses, and it's like, okay, fine, bro. You keep reading the Bible like that all you want to, but there's no other way to say it. That's just sad. Period. So you're not using faith at all to understand what you're reading. So the idea is, I'm just going to read what the Bible says. I'm just going to read what the Bible says. When people say that, telling you is that they don't. I mean, I hate to say that, but they don't care about anything further than that. That's what they're saying. So just think about it just for a second, man. If someone is telling you that they don't care to look outside the black letters in the white page, they don't care, then that means they're claiming that they read the Bible in its entirety as at face value, right? Like if everything is what it says. So when the Bible talks about, to pluck your eye out next time it offends you, or it talks about like mountains having certain movements and like waters acting a certain weird way that waters cannot do or mountains cannot do. And it's like, bro, why don't you take all those things literal? Oh, okay. Well, those things. So what they do is they pick and choose which one's literal and which one's not literal. That's what they do. And they'll say, oh, well, you're picking and choosing too. No, because the black letters on the white page. Huh?
Sky Ranch.
Trey.
Oh, my bad.
Trey.
Can you hear me?
No, you're good. I didn't know.
I was talking.
Yeah, are you talking to us?
No, I was talking to somebody else, man. A little dumb thing they trying to make me do. Never mind. My bad.
Oh. Yeah, no, you're good. So, the idea that oh my God, who's having a gift wars over here? What's going on?
oh hey, Grant.
He sent you.
Flip
He
got a
sent you a
universe.
galaxy, dude. That's a big boy.
Yeah, Galaxy. I'm sorry, my bad.
No,
The Galaxy.
Flip got the galaxy. I thought he was over here having wars with somebody.
Oh yeah, Flip got the galaxy because he's getting a galaxy, bro. He's getting one.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
He's gonna have those 2 witnesses we're waiting
Oh,
on.
the diaper fund.
Now I gotta get diapered, man.
Yeah, bro. That's right. So
Yes.
just so y'all know, we will be having a man's only session to buy diapers for Flip in the form of roses. And no, I'm just kidding. Obviously, that's further down the road. But anyway, yeah. So it's just so comical to me, man. It's so funny that people fight for the black letters on the white page, and they're like, no, man, I'm just going to go with what the Bible says. And it's like, bro, the things that you're tearing down, the Bible is saying it. Regardless, if you can find a very specific scripture that spells it out for you, the Bible does say it. That's why Islamic believers do not become Christians, because the way you're claiming the Bible says things, they're saying, no, it don't say that. And so here we go again. There's always this. So the line, right? When we draw the line in the sand, someone else has a line further away. And then there's people that's going to have a line further away from that one, and so on and so forth. And so there are people that call themselves Christians, and they'll say, but Jesus isn't God. So the Islamic believer will obviously hang out with these Christians because they don't believe that he was God. And then you have Christians that don't only say that Jesus is not God, they'll say, well, he's a God. So then Islamic believers will stop hanging around them, because they're saying that he's a God, not the God. And it's like, oh, my Lord, dude. I mean, it just, again, who do people say that I am? Well, people, Lord, to be honest with you, people say you're everything. You name it, that's what you are. Like all these things. Is it true? Yeah. Everything that they say that Jesus is, right, as far as the Bible's concerned, it is true. Was he a prophet? If you don't know what a prophet is or what it means, and you say that Jesus was not a prophet, then you're not reading the Bible correctly, because he was a prophet. But to pinpoint that only is what he was is an issue. He's not just a prophet. No. But he's obviously a prophet, period, because he's here on earth in a body. So obviously he was a messenger, obviously, and then on we can go. I'm saying that because Enoch's story is not just 3 verses, right? You hear people talk about Enoch, and they say a lot of stuff about Enoch off 1 verse or 2 verse, because that's quote unquote, that's all we have to go by. But let's go over a few things. And so who can bring up verses that prove that we are trees? That's how we're going to do this.
I mean, yeah, like when Jesus healed that guy the first time, and he saw men like trees.
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay, that's obviously they're there. But what about in the Proverbs or the Psalms? Is there anything there that talks about us being trees? Or how about plants or branches or anything of the sort?
Yeah, there is.
Now, I know where a lot of them are, but I think it'll be better because this one specifically, we need to do this one as a group.
Psalms 128:3. Your wife shall be like a fruitful vine in the very heart of your house, your children like olive plants all around your table. Psalms 144:12. The other sons may be as plants grown up in their youth, that our daughters may be as pillars sculptured in palace style. And then Proverbs 31:16. She considered a field and buys it. From her profit she plants a vineyard. Songs of Solomon 4:13. Your plants are an orchard of pomegranates with pleasant fruits, fragrance, henna with sparkles.
Okay, hold on, right there. Okay, so plants with pleasant fruits, right? Mm-hmm. And Jesus said that he's the vine and we are the branches that bear fruit, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's Jesse's reading plants with pleasant fruit.
I just looked up plants in the Bible and the King.
Well, no, I know. That's fair, but the point is, it's all over in the Bible. Is the point I'm making? So let's read a few more. Dre, did you say you had one? Excuse me, man.
No, you can keep going, but there's like I think Psalms 1 talks about being planted like a palm next to living waters or whatever.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah,
that's the point. We need to go over a lot of these. Is the point I'm making?
Oh yeah, I'm kind
Yeah,
of
we have to.
multitasking right now,
You
so
want
No.
Isaiah? I
Dre,
got
it
a
doesn't
couple
have
on
to be.
Isaiah.
It doesn't have to be you. I'm saying somebody.
yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah.
I think Psalm 92 also says the righteous man will flourish like the palm tree.
Okay, so flourish like a palm tree. So then people will say, well, it's just figuratively speaking about how trees flourish. It's not. So here we are again. So now it's just a coincidence that the Bible is constantly pointing at the fact that spiritually we are trees, man. Spiritually. So if y'all would read some of the comments right there, the one in the flock has one there. Priska has about 3 or 4, so I need somebody to pick up their Bible and read some of those.
Okay, let's do this.
I have one
Proverbs.
outside of those.
I'll do Priscilla's. She's in Proverbs right now.
Who's in Proverbs?
Priscilla's.
I can go to Psalms.
It
Priscilla?
says
Hold on.
Priscilla,
Where are you looking
yeah.
at Priscilla? Who's Priscilla?
Oh,
It's right here. I'm looking at the chat.
Oh,
3:18.
Priska.
She
Priska's
is
in
a-
Proverbs. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Jess.
Priska, I'm sorry.
didn't-
Okay.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. No, go ahead.
It says, she is a tree of life of those who take hold of her, and happy are all who retain her. And now let's go
Okay,
to
now
11.
hold on. So hold on. That right there is wisdom. That's who her is. But go ahead, keep reading.
That was it.
Oh,
For that one.
well, there's like 10, bro. There's like 10 there. I need all
but
these.
I gotta go to the other ones, bro. Just give me a second. It doesn't.
Oh, calm down.
I have
Okay,
to.
you want to fight?
okay.
Hey,
Okay,
Psalm
11:30
3.
said. Oh, you got it.
Hold on.
11:30.
CJ, go ahead and read whatever you got, bro.
Psalm 1:3 says, he's like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither.
That's right. The leaf not withering. Faith is the leaves. That's what doesn't wither. Okay. All right. Next.
Okay, the next one is Proverbs 11:30. The fruits of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise.
Okay. Read that one again.
The fruits of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise.
Okay. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. So does that mean that we are a tree that gives life?
I think so.
Yeah, because
Yes.
why would your fruit give death if you have life living in you?
Yeah.
So the fruits of the Spirit are of life, not death, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, so read another one.
Okay, the next one is Proverbs 13:12. Hope defers make the heart sick, but when the desires come, it is a tree of life.
Right, and we know that God gives that desire to us, right? So if I have a desire in my flesh to, I'm talking about in my flesh, if I have a desire to be a CEO of a company, and then, people are like, well, how do you know God didn't give you that desire? Okay, first off, what is the desire that God gives you? What's the desire? It says he gives you the desire in your heart. That doesn't mean that you had a godly desire. That means when you hear a desire that is of God and you go, all of a sudden, I have this desire to do this. That desire comes from God. You didn't create the desire and God gave you the desire. No. He put the desire in you. That's what that verse is telling us. He put it there. He gave us the desire that's in our heart because it's his heart, not your fleshly heart. He's not saying that you have your carnal heart and whatever you desire, he gives you. That's not what that's saying. It's saying the new heart that he gave you. Hold on. The new heart that he gave you, there's a desire that comes with it. And he gave you that desire. And that desire is to be like the Son. That's the desire, to be as Christ is. And so you became Christ when you became saved. Now we renew our carnal mind to that truth. Now we have a desire that there's things that we see that need work on, and we work on them. And the desire came from his heart, not your unsaved heart, like the part of you that needed saving, like the fleshly desire. That's not the desire, right? So, all right, what else we got?
We have
Psalm
Proverbs
104.
15:4. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perversiveness in it breaks the spirit.
Okay, well, we're kind of going away from. We're talking about us being called trees or plants or vines or branches, or we're looking
Okay,
for
so
those.
that's not the one.
Psalms,
Okay, I was just going.
Psalms 104,
Go
Psalm
ahead.
104:16. The trees of the Lord are watered abundantly, the cedars of Lebanon that he planted.
I don't know if your voice is scratchy. I cannot clearly hear you. What?
The trees of the
What?
Lord are watered abundantly, the cedars of Lebanon that he planted.
Yeah, the trees, they're watered abundantly. That's us. We're the thing that's watered abundantly. Us. We're watered. So I'm going over this over and over and over because you have to understand that you spiritually, you are a tree. You have to understand this. It has to be understood.
That's a good one.
You know, so for people to, you're going to sit here and say, no, this is talking about the trees of Lebanon. And you, oh my Lord, buddy.
I got you.
Oh my Lord.
I got one more.
Go ahead.
Psalm 52:8. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever.
Right. So spiritually.
Yep.
So physically, you're not a tree, obviously.
Right.
Oh my God. Obviously, you don't have branches hanging on you, but you have to be able to see and hear what he's saying. He's not just saying that it's a, he's not just giving you an example. Spiritually, that is exactly what you are. Spiritually, okay? So, God, how many times a bad tree doesn't bear bad fruit? A good tree bears good fruit. And then because people are so legalistic under the law, they think that is talking about how you act. Even though how you act may be a byproduct of like where you are, it could be a byproduct. But the fruit, why does the Bible say be fruitful and multiply? Why does it say that?
Because fruit is produced by walking in the Spirit, and multiply is making disciples.
Yeah, 100%. That's what being fruitful and multiplying is. So you yourself have to produce fruit, obviously, but every fruit has a seed, and you can plant more of those type of trees only from the seed that is in that fruit, which is life. So you'll know them by their fruits. Isn't just talking about how someone is acting. It's talking about the disciples that they make. Go ye and make disciples. What's the commandment? Be fruitful and multiply. That's what he's saying. Be fruitful and multiply. Go ye and make disciples. Be fruitful and multiply. All right, let's read a couple of more and we'll be done with that part.
Yeah, you got Mark 8:24.
All right, let's hear it.
And he looked up and said, I see men like trees walking. That's when Jesus healed that blind man.
Yeah, I thought we went over that one already. We didn't?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's go over one more, or one more good one. Anybody? No?
Yeah.
Tree of life.
So God, no, Genesis 9:1. So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful." Well, we did that one. Let's do Genesis 9:7. And as for you, be fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply in it. All the ones in
Yeah.
Genesis are going to be about
Yeah,
multiplying.
and so what people will say about those specific ones is, they're talking about, well, they're talking about planting seed and physical plants growing because everything died because it was the flood, but they still don't see. They still don't see what's being. So I think hopefully, and I'm telling you, there's so many more that are in there. There could be 100 more for all I know. I never counted them, but maybe one day I should. There's so many in there that are saying something very specifically to us, and it's only for those
Listen,
that have ears to hear.
this one's a good one. Isaiah 5:1. Now let me sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved regarding his vineyard. My well-beloved has a vineyard on a very fruitful hill.
Yeah, but that's talking about the new wine. that's not
Oh,
talk,
okay.
that's not talking about us being trees, even though we are the fruit of him. But when it's talking about vineyards on a hill, it's talking about like the new covenant. Really is what it's talking about. Even though we are the new covenant, it's really talking about, because this is Solomon talking about his beloved, right? What the beloved has for him, and but I'm talking about things that are more specific, speaking about us being a plant or a tree or a branch, and there's so many in there, and again, I already went over where Christ says, I'm the vine and ye are the branches. So we are trees, okay, and we because we're trees, what would make God smile? What would we as trees have to do to make God smile?
Bear
Be
fruit.
fruitful trees.
Okay, so be fruitful trees. And leaves on trees is faith. Remember when Jesus cursed the fig tree? It said he answered it. I know a lot of people don't care about that verse, but he answered it because it said something. And leaves tell a person, I have fruit. That's what leaves do, right? Because if a tree has no leaves, more than likely it's not going to bear fruit, especially a fig tree, okay? I'm not trying to get all historical on the fig tree. I know people don't know what else to study, so they go study fig trees for like 10 years to become the fig tree master. Listen, put your red pen down. I'm not trying to give people a bachelor's degree in fig trees. Ain't the point of the discussion today. I'm just saying that it's so easy that it said he was hungry, and that's why he went to the tree, okay? But he answered the tree, is what it said, and he answered the tree and said, may you be cursed, and he cursed it because it didn't have any fruit. But when you start seeing that leaves represent faith in the Bible, it's no different than a believer today saying, I have leaves. We're all trees. People say they have faith. People say, I have the Spirit, but yet they're not fruitful. But when a person is fruitful and they do multiply, doesn't that make God smile or frown? Right? So I know we talked about the Garden of Eden, how Adam and Eve were told not to eat from a certain tree, and they did. And the eating is believing. So they believed what Satan said.
So, Trot,
What?
would Genesis 3:8 be also part of that? I'm just
Why
thinking
don't you just
about.
read? Why don't you just read what you have there?
Okay.
You know the rules.
You bring it up. You're gonna read it.
Read
Hey,
it.
also,
Bring
guys,
Bible.
you bring, there's other people listening, so not
Well,
everybody
I have
has
my
Bible.
Excuse me, y'all forget my grandbaby stays with me watch before she goes to school. So I'm trying to
Okay.
keep my voice down.
Okay, so all you got to say is like this. Watch this. Let me see. Hey, Flip, do you mind reading verse? That's
My
all you got
bad.
to say.
Flip, can you read Genesis 3:8 for me? I appreciate it.
3:8, right? All right. So 3:8 says, and they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden of the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord among the trees of the garden.
Okay, what about
Dude.
that?
So my question was, so since you're referencing trees and we are trees in a sense, that would be, could that be a symbol of us? That's my question.
Well, let me. Actually, that's what I'm. What I'm getting at is Jesus is a tree. He's the tree of life,
Right.
and the other tree is Satan.
Right.
So if we were created in the image and likeness of God, and Jesus is a tree of life, then we are trees. And Satan was made by God. He didn't just come out of nowhere. He's a tree too. He's right there. So if they're trees, what did Adam and Eve eat? That's where I'm getting. If they are spiritual trees, what did Adam and Eve eat?
That they ate
The
that.
fruit.
They ate that.
They-
Okay,
That.
but these are okay. So
Lies. They
does
ate his lies.
Knowledge.
hold on?
Lies. His
Does I'm
merchandise.
asking?
Jesse.
Jess. Listen, you don't have to let everybody know you know the answer. Okay, I'm asking her. So that's why I'm bringing these two trees up right now.
Right.
I'm bringing them up because I'm asking, what did they eat? Obviously, the answer is fruit, but what's fruit?
Right,
What is fruit? What is fruit? What is that?
Oh,
What's the fruits of the Spirit?
and my mind went a total blank. And I know this. I did oh, Lord.
What?
Okay,
Give me
hold on.
one. Just give me one fruit of the Spirit. Just one.
Can I help her?
Oh, you know it. Trust me. If
I
anybody
know.
starts saying, you're going to be like, oh yeah, duh. Trust me. You know.
I'm being put on up.
I'll give you I'll give you the easiest one. Love. Love is a fruit of the Spirit. Right? Fruit of the Spirit is
Yes.
love, joy, peace. Okay, long suffering, which is patience. Okay, so if the fruit of the Spirit is love, is love a banana?
Love is anything and everything. Love is in our
But
heart.
is love but what I'm saying is fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace. So if we are trees and we bear fruit of the Spirit, do I have bananas and apples hanging off of me?
Yes.
No, we don't have
I like
bananas
that
and
one.
apples.
I like that one.
Hang
Yes,
on.
Trot, you do.
That was a good one.
No, I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry.
so what do we have, quote unquote, hanging off of us?
Leaves.
Okay, but what's the fruit? Leaves ain't the fruit. What's the fruit?
I'm sorry.
Love, joy,
Love, joy,
peace.
peace, patience. But if we eat the wrong fruit,
So
we
It's all
can bear
okay, hold
rotten fruit.
on. No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Okay, we're gonna go over this again, okay? Because I need to make sure before we go any further that this is understood. So if we are trees, and obviously we have leaves because we have faith, and then we have fruit hanging off of us, what is the fruit that's hanging off of us?
Well, who we are. So that would be the peace, love, joy,
Okay.
patience.
All right. So now watch this. If you have fruit of love, joy, and peace, how do I eat that from you? How?
By me pouring into you, by me telling,
Okay. So you're going to speak to me, right?
correct.
Okay. Now how do I digest? How do I do that?
You hearing, hearing, and
Okay. Well, okay. So, okay. But I still
I
have
mean,
to
I know
do
that's
something
eating.
after I,
We
okay.
have
But
to eat.
yeah, but after I hear it, I have to do something with it.
Discern it. You have to
My
discern it.
actions,
You,
my
no,
actions.
no, 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 no. No. I have to
Believing.
believe it. I have
Oh,
to believe
believe
it.
it.
That's eating. Eating is believing
Oh,
what you said, because if I reject it, then I'm not going to eat it. So what did Adam and Eve eat?
the lies. They believe the lies.
I believe it.
Didn't Satan have a conversation with Eve?
Yes.
So easy, man. So easy. We see
Yeah,
the
I'm
word
sorry.
fruit and we're
Yeah.
like, oh, they're just running around naked, just eating s'mores, just nonchalant, running around naked out there eating fruit. That's not what's happening. Jesus is the tree of life. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is Satan. He is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Just because the word good is there on that tree doesn't mean it's good. He told them the knowledge. He told them, hey, there's a thing that's good and there's a thing that's bad. That's what he told them. And there are people to this day that try to put themselves under the first covenant, which is the law, which strengthens that truth, good and bad. Oh, he's good. Oh, he's bad. Notice there's people, they're not even Christians and they know that. How? How do they know what good and bad is? They don't even believe in God. You know why? Because Satan is their father. That's why. That's why. It's not got a revelation from God. You don't have to have a revelation from God to see that there's good and bad. We were already came into this world with that understanding, with that knowledge. We already came into this world with that. How? Because of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve heard from Satan. She believed it. And it says, and she gave to her husband also, meaning she told Adam. And Adam believed her. That is the eating. When Jesus was here, Jesus said, blessed are the meek, blessed are the poor. It was the tree of life, feeding, and people were eating. The tree of life was here. All right, so are we at least on the understanding on we're trees, we have fruit, and we feed other people fruit?
Yes.
Right? All right. Now, Jesus talks about parable of the sower in Mark 4. There's 4 soils. One of them is called the good ground. Was the tree of life planted in the good ground?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. The tree of life was planted in the good ground. So the ground was good. And we also are planted in the good ground. Right? Because we bear fruit. Now, we're the branch, But because we're hooked up to the vine is in the good ground. We're hooked up to the good ground, right? And it's not a coincidence that the entire Bible is focused on what makes God smile. It's focused on it. And our job is to figure out, well, what is that? Now, people that are under the first covenant will say it's the law. That the law is what makes God smile, meaning if you obey it and you do good enough, then you'll make God smile. Now, the law itself makes God smile because the law is holy and the law is spiritual because Jesus is the law. But that's what makes God smile, is the law itself, not someone who can do what the law is telling you in your flesh. I'm saying in your flesh, because the law was never given for someone's flesh. Hold on. All right. The law was never given for the purpose of you becoming righteous in your flesh. The law was given, a physical law was given to a physical people so they could behave physically. But it's always been about the imagination. Always. It's always been about the imagination. It's a spiritual imagination. And the only way for your spiritual imagination to be smiled upon by God is for your imagination to be on him, right? Not like the flood in Noah, where it says, and their imagination was evil continuously. The people's imagination was evil. So when the spiritual law came, Christ, he proved that by saying, you didn't commit adultery by being in the act of adultery. You did it because you thought about it. So he takes the law further because he is the law. He is the law. He fulfilled it. He completed it. So a lot of Christians are trying to tell first covenant believers that meaning that Jesus didn't break the law, so he fulfilled it that way. Even though that's true, because obviously he didn't break it, but he fulfilled it. He completed. He added the rest, is what I'm saying. He's the rest of it. Part of it is don't murder, right? Kill, don't steal. That's part of the law. But the other side, the deeper side is if you thought about it, you did it, because he's trying to show you that the imagination is what counts in your heart, what you're thinking about. That's why the people in Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed, obviously. It doesn't have to tell you that, them too, their imagination was evil. It doesn't have to, because Lot's wife turned back. They were already far away in comparison to walking out of the gate, because they went to the other city that was there. And Lot said, or I don't remember if it was Abraham or Lot. I think it was Lot. Lot was talking to the angels, and he said, look at that city right there. It's just a little one. And the angel said, I have thought. Hold on. And he went and into that city. But the point is, on the way there, it says that Lot's wife turned back, and in Hebrew it says to think and she turned back. That phrase is to think intensely about. So her imagination was still in Sodom and Gomorrah. Her imagination was. And she died just like everybody else. So when people say, that she became a pillar of salt, when you study that in Hebrew, it literally means a vapor. Like she became a vapor, like a ash or a dust. And, was she a pillar? Oh, yeah, I believe it. I believe it 100%. that she became a standing ash right there. I believe it 100% because she died just like the people in Sodom and Gomorrah. God did not unalive her differently. No. Her mind was in Sodom and Gomorrah, and she burnt up where she was at because that's what he was destroying again, just like the flood. And that's why Jesus comes here to say that if you thought about it, you did it. Why? What is he pointing out still? That it's always been about our imagination. And so our imagination is what God is looking at, the heart, right? Circumcision is of the heart. So when Jesus gets here,
I was going to say,
what?
it's always been about what we believe.
It's always about what we believe, what fruit we are eating from, what tree we are eating from. It's always been about that. It's never changed, and it still is that way. See, the rules of God are not. It's just every decade we change our rules, and then therefore God's changed some way. But his rules never change. And so God has always smiled upon Eden. He has always smiled upon Jesus. And anybody that is caught in these stories in the Old Testament that are doing or listening, obeying, eating what Jesus is saying, those things he smiles upon every time. You don't see him smile upon anything else. And then finally, when Jesus comes in the picture in a physical way where we can see him, it says that that this is my begotten son, who I'm well pleased. Obviously, makes him smile. Obviously, that's what he's pleased with. And then the transfiguration, this is my son, who I am well pleased. You listen to him. Constantly, from the very beginning, he's showing us what makes him smile. He didn't tell Moses and everybody else, you see these 2 tablets? These are my 2 feet, and with them I'm well pleased. That's not what he says. He says, now go tell the people this. Go tell the people that. Matter of fact, he was still displeased with Moses. Moses is doing such a great job. In my opinion, now that I understand a little bit more how the Bible's written, he did a horrible job. But that would be any of us, okay? But God wasn't pleased with him. If he was, he wouldn't have told him to take his sandals off, because he's not the Redeemer. Only the Redeemer can keep their sandals on. So Moses, take your sandals off. Joshua, take your sandals off. John the Baptist said, it's him. He's the one that I cannot unlatch his sandals. He's the one. He's the one that makes God smile. This one right here, this is him. So anytime we read anything in the Bible, none of this, what we just went over, can be forgotten. It can't. As soon as you forget it, then you missed it. You missed it again. So, can somebody read John 8:51? No? Anybody?
Yeah. Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death.
Okay, so who will never see death?
A man that keeps his saying.
That keeps his saying. Now, is there something that he said there that could give us context on what he said?
Jesus answered, I have not a devil, but I honor my Father, and ye dishonor me. And I seek not my own glory. There is one that seeketh and judgeth. Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death.
So he says that he honors. Is that what he said? He honors?
Yeah.
And then does it say that? Read that part again where he says that he honors.
But I honor my Father, and ye do dishonor me.
Okay, so ye dishonor me. So God smiles at Jesus, right?
Yep.
And they dishonor him. So the thing that God is pleased with, they're not pleased with, right? Ain't that pretty much what we're saying? But what does he say at the end? What's the last sentence?
Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death.
If a man keep my saying. And at the transfiguration, God said, this is my son, my begotten son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him, meaning you listen to him, right? And Jesus said, a person that does listen to him, hear my saying, they won't see death. Read John 11:26.
Um, 11:26 says, and whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this?
Okay, so, hold on. What is he telling people to believe? CJ, can you hear me?
Sorry, that was a question.
No, you're good. What is he telling them to believe in John 11:26?
He asks them if they believe it, but he's asking
If they believe in him,
if they believe in.
Yeah, if they believe in him. He said, if they believe in me, they won't die, right?
Exactly.
And what is eating?
Believing.
What is eat? It's believing.
Eating.
And Jesus said, verily I say unto you, if you don't eat of my flesh, you'll never have everlasting life, right?
Man.
So eating his flesh is believing what he's saying. And those that believe what he says never dies. Are we clear on what I'm getting at here?
Yes,
About the
Yes, sir.
believing, eating, don't die? Okay.
Crystal
All right.
clear.
All right. So let's go to Genesis 5. Who's reading it?
Yeah, let
Genesis
me find
5.
it. Give me a second.
What do you want, the whole chapter?
I just want to know who found it. No, not the whole chapter. It's going to be Genesis 5, 18 through 24.
All right, so Jared lived 162 years and begot Enoch. After he begot Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Jared were 962 years and he died. Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah.
Yeah.
After he begot Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years, had sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God and he was not, for God took him.
Okay, hold on a second.
Only 365 years. We have 365 days in a year.
Actually, it was 360 in the Jewish calendar, which is the what is it called? Whatever. Right now, it just left me.
The Torah, the
No. We're under
the
the
Tammuz,
Gregorian
the Tammuz.
calendar. No.
I got a mic on.
Yeah, one in the flock. I
Yeah,
had to mute
I
you.
think.
You have an echo. Okay, so I'm sorry. Read 23 and 24 again. Flip, please.
Yeah. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years, and Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him.
Enoch walked with God, for he was not, and God took him. So it doesn't really give us a whole lot right there, right? Wouldn't you say that'd be true?
Right.
Right. So this right here would lead you to believe that you just have to go read the book of Enoch, right? This is all we got. We have to go read it. And once again, I'm going to prove that wrong. Once again, for the 100th time, that we're not missing anything out of this Bible. You may say we're missing more black letters on the white page, and I'll agree with you on that. But let me tell you something. When it comes to the word, we're not missing nothing. It's your eyes that's the problem. That's the problem. And everybody that's going out and trying to seek more, I'm telling you, you're not listening to Jesus when he says, you look in the scriptures seeking life, but they contest of me. Your problem is you still have not truly found Jesus in the Old Testament. That's the problem. You think you need to go read more books and more, and you're doing the same thing that the scribes and Pharisees were doing. They were seeking life in the black letters on the white pages. That's where they were seeking life. And Jesus said, you're looking for life in the scriptures. You're not hearing what he's saying. The life is not there. The God-breathed part is not there. I don't know how many times he has to say it. It's not what your physical eyes can read. That's not where Christ is. And if you say, what do you mean? I'm reading right here. Jesus walked and he... Listen to what I'm telling you. I don't know how many times you have to hear this for it to sink in. You search and you search for life. Whatever you're calling life is the point. Whatever you're calling life, maybe more black letters on the white page. If I had more. No, my friend. You could take one book out of the Bible and have all the life you need in it. And I'm going to prove it again. You don't need the book of Enoch. You don't need the whole series of Enoch. Oh man, I found another book. Oh, did you know that there was another book? I got the second. I found the third one. I found the third. You're going to be just as dry. I don't care if Enoch wrote 10 books. You're going to be just as dry. Because if the first book didn't satisfy you, the second one ain't either, the third one, and you're still going to try to figure out who stole the word of God from you because you're still dry and desolate. You're calling yourself a Christian. You're still dry. You read everything. You're still dry. You're still arguing. The thing that was passed down to the people in the Old Testament about Enoch, that one thing that was important is the one thing that he made sure was in this book. Now, obviously, what Flip just read is part of it, that he walked with God and God took him, just to keep it simple. Somebody go to Hebrews 11 and read 5 and 6.
5 and 6. Okay.
Good morning.
5. Good morning.
Morning. Hey, how you doing?
Muy bien. That's what way.
Good.
Great.
Okay, so
all right. 5 and 6.
Yeah, Hebrews 11, 5 and 6.
All right. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found.
Okay, hold on, stop. Hold on, whoa, hold on. He was translated so he wouldn't see death.
Yep.
Who is the ones that won't see death that we just went over?
The ones that go with the ones that believe and hear the truth and believe.
Yeah, the ones that believe what? We got to go over them again.
No, the fruits. The words of Jesus is
Ones that are born
fruits.
Yeah,
again.
No. What we went over, I said. What we went over.
That he is
Jesus
the
said,
resurrection, the life.
"Oh my Lord, we didn't even talk about resurrection, CJ.
Yeah.
Y'all are
What?
killing me."
That's John
No,
11.
We
no,
talked about the
no.
words,
Okay,
his
no.
words.
Go back. Go to John 8:51 because obviously we got to read it again. Y'all just throwing stuff out there. I said what we went over. It's important, real important. Y'all just trying to pass the test. Read John 8:51.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keeps my saying, he shall never see death.
Okay, keeping his saying. And John 11:26 says, "Believe in me, never die. Believe in me, keep my saying." So believing what Jesus says. I'm trying to keep this whole thing in context because it's in context. Yes, of course, we can talk about the resurrection. We can talk about 50,000 things, but in context, it says that read 5 again.
Are you talking about Genesis? Or Hebrews?
Hebrews
By
11:5.
faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death.
Okay, that he should not see death. Who are the people that should not see death? So are we going to sit here and say that Enoch, and I'm talking physical right now, okay? Because first of all, Enoch was a real man, 100%. But what I'm saying is, are we going to say that God just picks and chooses who's going to die and not die? Is that what we believe? That he just picks and chooses randomly who's going to die and not die? Anybody? Okay, who doesn't die? We got to
Those
go
who
over it again.
believe in
The ones who
Jesus.
listen.
Those who
No, the one.
hear and keep. Yeah.
Those who believe what?
What Jesus
His
said.
saying.
What Jesus says. We don't have to go over it again. I'm hoping we don't got to go over it again. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. When the Bible talks about God doesn't change. So you hear an Islam believer say, "Hey, does God change?" And they're going to say, "Look right here, there's a change, there's a change." You know what doesn't change? These things right here that we're going over. Those don't change, man. You can try to go find some sort of contradiction and try to twist something, but you know what doesn't change is that Jesus is the tree of life. That's what doesn't change. He's the tree of life. So those who believe in me never die. Those who hear what I say or believe what I say, which is 8:51, John 8:51, never see death. Verily, verily, I say unto you, unless you eat of my flesh, you will never have what? Everlasting life, which means if you want everlasting life, you have to eat of me. And eating is believing. We good?
Yeah.
We good?
We good.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so
5 and 6.
Hebrews 11:5 says, read it again. Hebrews 11:5.
By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death.
That he should not see death. Hold on. So are we going to say that maybe he believed something?
Maybe?
Is that possible?
No.
Something.
Yeah.
He believed something.
No,
Okay.
there's no maybe. He did believe.
Oh well,
That's what I was
I
saying.
gotta say maybe. I gotta say maybe. I gotta say maybe for the red pinners. I gotta say maybe for the red pinners. It ain't no maybe to me. Look,
That would make
hey,
kick rocks.
Jesus said, "Who do people say that I am?" And they hear all these answers. So I talk to them too. Maybe, you know.
Just
All right. So 11:5 says that. Now read 11:6.
Okay. But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Okay.
Diligently.
Diligently seek him. All right. Give me a second. Let's see.
Get him, Chuck. Get him.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's barking at.
All right, let's
Let
check
me
out
see.
what this word diligently.
I think that
Yeah,
possum
you
came
do.
back to life, Trot.
Better not. Let's see.
Wait, what?
Oh, we didn't read all 5, did we?
No, we didn't.
That's my fault. Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, go ahead and read all of 5. Matter of fact, read all 5 and 6. Read both of them.
Okay. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony, that he pleased God. But
Okay.
without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he
All right,
that
just stop
cometh.
right there.
Okay.
Hold on. So, without faith, Jesus is faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. And it said that Enoch had this testimony. What was his testimony?
That he pleased God.
That
He
he
had
pleased. That he pleased God.
Yeah.
What pleases God?
Faith.
Faith. Jesus.
Faith pleases God.
Jesus.
Okay. How do we know that Jesus is the thing that pleases him, though?
In my
That
son,
word,
I am well
please.
Because you
pleased.
believe, you believe, you believe, you
In
believe, you believe, you believe.
come on,
You heard the
we went
word.
through
You believe.
You went through the transfiguration yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
In my
So
son.
how do we know? How do we know that Jesus is the thing that pleases God? What verse?
This is my beloved son in whom I am well pleased.
Right.
That's
So when
right.
Jesus was baptized,
Yes.
a voice from heaven said, "This is my begotten son, who I am well pleased." Who I am well pleased. So here we go. So everything is a coincidence then. So Eden, right? The good ground, the soil. In English, Eden means pleasant. Pleasant and pleased is the same word. It's just a derivative. That's it. Same word. So is it a coincidence that Eden, the good ground, the good soil, literally means pleasant soil? That's what it means. Pleasant. Pleasant soil. Pleasing. Pleased. And Jesus is the thing that makes God smile. Jesus is the pleasantness of God. So that is what pleases God. When we bear fruit, we please him. You know why? Because it's where the fruit is coming from his son, which is rooted in Eden, which is pleasant.
Therefore, Jesus is that good ground.
What?
Which is rooted in us because we are Eden.
Right. And we are Eden. Our heart is the good ground, the good soil. And this is where God planted a garden in our heart where we get spiritual fruit. The spiritual fruits come from our heart. God doesn't look on the countenance of a man. He looks in the heart. And the heart is the garden that he planted because that's where he walks in the cool of the day. Because his son, who is a tree of life, is planted in us. And he is the gardener. He has the job of the first Adam. He is the gardener. It's not a coincidence that when Jesus rose, he resurrected in a garden. And the lady said, "Oh, I thought you were the gardener." Oh, he is. He is the gardener. And it's not a coincidence that her name is Mary. That goes back to Mara. The water was bitter. We were all bitter. That's why God chose a woman whose name was Mary. So we could put it together. Bitter water. She was bitter water. Mara. And the Bible says, and the water was Mara, for we could not drink it. So to this day, it's called Mara, bitter. And God showed him a tree. When he cast a tree into the bitter water, it became sweet. The tree of life, the word. Angel told John, eat the book in Revelation. John said, give me the book to eat. And John ate the book, which was the word. And he said, and when he ate it, it was sweet in his mouth. Sweet. The word is sweet. What was the parable that Samson told the men? What was the riddle? What is stronger than a lion and sweeter than honey? What's the answer? Jesus.
The word.
The word.
Jesus.
The tree of life.
Jesus, the word.
The word.
Bruh.
That's the answer to the riddle. So this is just all coincidence. We're just making the Bible say what we want. So when we make the Bible say whatever we want, it just so happens to glorify God. Why? Why would a carnal, physical fool want to glorify God? Why? No, it's there. 100%. It's always been there. Why are we talking about all this around Enoch? Anybody?
Because Enoch was transformed and he was taken. And there's a reason why he was taken. He was a lesson for us to see.
Okay, so what's the reason that I'm talking about all this about Enoch?
He was unalived.
Right. That's one reason. But why? Why was he?
He was a shadow of us. He heard the word, he ate the fruit, and he believed, and he was taken away, as in Jesus takes us away when we believe his word.
Where does God walk?
In the good
coolness
grass
of the day in our heart.
He walks on the good ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Soil, good soil.
And the Bible says that Enoch did what with God?
He walked with God.
Walked.
So we're going to take that and we're just going to look at it in a way that he lived his life and he just walked with God. So God only walks with us in our heart. That's where he walks with us. So the testimony that's always been about Enoch, and everyone knew this, is that he pleased God. Out of all the words that could be used, it just so happened to be the one word that goes with Eden, the one word that goes with Jesus. There's not 100 things that pleases God. So when you say, oh yeah, Enoch pleased God and Jesus pleased God, no, you're missing it. You're missing it. The foundation of anything that pleases God is Christ. Christ is the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, if Jesus is the foundation, then that means that that's the focus on him, not on everything that God sees pleasant. No. If God sees something pleasant with someone, then his son is involved. Period. The end. It is not because of them. It's always because of his son.
Hey, so Enoch's a shadow of Jesus then, right?
I don't know. Let's check it out. Let's see. Maybe. Let's check it out. So
All right.
Enoch's father's name is Jared.
Correct.
Right? Jared had Enoch. Enoch had Methuselah. So let's just see how many more coincidences are around this one particular person who just so happened to please God. So Jared's name means to descend, to go down. That's what his name means. The father of Enoch, to descend, to go down. I don't know. Is that a coincidence that Jesus descended and came down here? And then,
nope, not a coincidence.
And then Enoch's name, one of the strongest words when you look at Enoch's name is initiated, right? But when you look at how, like, what his name means, it's pointing to trained and dedicated. Trained and dedicated. So let's just look just real quick. Jesus tells us to make disciples. Is that not training somebody?
Yes.
So just look at the context, man. It's so funny when people say, oh, well, you just make the Bible say whatever you want. No. If you use your heart to read the Bible, you're not making it say nothing. What you're doing is you're just saying that's a coincidence. It doesn't mean nothing. That's what you're doing.
Try.
What?
Question. Look at this. Not question, but Enoch is what? Seventh from Adam? And what's the symbolism of 7?
Well, again, that's just a coincidence too, right? He just so happens to be 7th from Adam, which is a number of perfection. So this man happens to be the 7th number of perfection. So his name is trained and dedicated, is what his name means. Trained. And it's not a coincidence at all that his son, Methuselah, his name means man of dart. And the kind of dart that it's referring to is a shoot or a branch or a spear. Look.
Of life.
No, not tree of life. No. Okay, watch. Look at the. What are we? What are we? We went over what we are. What are we?
Trees. We're trees.
Right. So Christ said that He's the vine and we are the branches.
Right.
Okay. So it's just a coincidence. When you look at Jared, Enoch, and Methuselah, you see a descending, and then you see a
Enoch
descending. Hold on. You see a descending. You see Enoch, and then you see that his son, Enoch's son, is a branch or a spear or a shoot. If you don't know what a shoot is, it is a branch. It's just another way from saying like, and the branch shoots out. It's talking about the branch, the shoot. So man of shoot or man of branch. So in a weird way, it's like God came down, trained, and then man came alive. To descend, the training, and then man came alive. When Jesus came down here, He made disciples. So how do you know that in context it's correct? Is because how do we know in context it's correct? Because when you look at some of the parables, one of them being the dove being sent out of the ark, it says that the first time the dove was sent out, it says, and she found no place to rest the sole of her foot. And the reason is because she was looking spiritually. Spiritually, she was looking. What'd you say, Anthony? Can we discuss once saved? No, we're discussing Enoch, sir. You need to get your pen out. Get your pen out and take some notes. But the first time the dove was sent out, it says that she found no place to rest the sole of her foot. And you have to understand, spiritually, the dove is looking for a place to land, meaning it's looking for man to receive her. That's why the depiction of, quote unquote, the spirit like a dove descended on Jesus, because she found a place to rest the sole of her foot. She being wisdom, being the spirit. Remember, wisdom has a feminine attribute in the Old Testament, And Jesus, that was still the Old Testament. You have to understand that. But the first time the dove was sent out, the first time that the Spirit was offered to man is the tree of life. And Adam and Eve did not receive it. That was the first time the dove was sent out of the ark, which is God's heart. But she found no place to rest the soles of her foot. So in real life, right, the ark, the world is flooded, and the dove found no place to rest the sole of her foot, so came back. There was no life on earth. Remember, the reason that Noah sent the dove out is to check to see if the water had abated, like if the land was dry. That's the purpose. And so the dove is sent out, but she found no place to rest the sole of her foot. The second time it says, and lo and behold, in her mouth was an olive leaf, or an olive branch was in her mouth. The Bible tells us that when Jesus ascended back to the Father, he ascended from the Mount of Olives. And he took a spiritual olive branch to the Father to say, there is life back on earth. Remember, everything had been destroyed in the flood. But Jesus said, I didn't come to destroy. I came to save, because he is a flood. The Bible tells us that God said he would never send a flood to destroy. It never said he would never send another flood. He said that he would never send a flood to destroy. And Jesus said, I come not to destroy, but to save. Why? Because he's the living water. The living water, the flood. And so the third time that the dove was sent out of the ark, it says she didn't come back. And that's because the third time that the Spirit was offered to man is when they received it in the upper room. Right? But the point is, the dove landed on Jesus because he's a tree of life. There was a place to land. So it's not a coincidence that Jared's the father of Enoch. The name of Jared is to descend, to go down. Enoch's name is trained. And Methuselah's name is man of dart, a shoot, a branch. That is what Jesus was able to pluck off and go back to the Father and say, there's life back on earth. Wasn't that his purpose to come here? To give us life? We were supposed to eat of him so we can have life, so we don't die, everlasting life.
Abundantly.
Abundantly. Yeah, so that's why when Big was like, hey, have you talked about Enoch? I was like, yeah. I was like, Enoch's actually a long... It's so funny. You know, I always say this, but the thing that you think is the most insignificant in the Bible is one of the most significant stories in there. So
then we need to go
Enoch's...
with Jesus wept, because that's the shortest verse in the Bible.
I could have swore we already have, but we can. We can.
I thought we were going to talk about, as you gave me an assignment yesterday, and I've been waiting patiently.
What was the assignment?
Oh,
You
sounded hostile.
advised me.
Tell him, girl. Tell him. You just tell him like it
Do
is.
not.
You're cutting out.
In regards to adoption, remember?
Oh,
In regards to adoption, you remember you wrote it down? Check your notes.
It's true. I'm going to back her up on this one, definitely.
I need y'all to show me where I said it's not true.
Well, we didn't say you didn't say it's not true. I'm just saying that what she's
Okay,
saying
because it
is
sure
true.
did sound like it.
No, I'm just saying that what
So-
she's saying is true. I'm not talking about you. I'm backing her up.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
No,
You know,
we
just
got
making
you.
sure.
We
All right.
got you.
get him.
Just making sure. Making sure. All right. So, yeah, is there, okay, I could be wrong about this,
Yes.
but I could have swore I told you we were going to talk about that first.
Yes,
We
you
did,
did.
however, you did, but you jumped into Enoch.
I know, but you sure did jump in to stop me from talking right now. Why didn't you do that at the beginning, ma'am? I'm gonna have to call you
Well,
out. I'm gonna call you out on
go
that.
ahead. No, you're fine. No.
Nah,
But no,
what it is you
yes,
might have forgot, and you're like, oh, I just remembered, and I'm gonna use this
no.
to pull out
I haven't.
my floss
No.
water.
Now, now I can talk. I can talk louder because the baby's with her mom. So now
Okay,
I
all right.
can
Well,
actually read
let
to
me
her.
say this. Let me say this. Do you
Yes,
remember what the objective was?
yes. Because my question to you was this: what does the Bible say about adoption? About adopting children? And
Yeah,
you
but
said, look it up.
all right, but what? Okay, but I said I want you to look up a verse.
I have the verse, Ephesians 1:5.
All right. So before we go to the verse, okay,
Yes.
before we go to the verse, I was going to finish what we were talking about with
Oh, yes,
Enoch.
sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Okay. So, Big, you got any questions about Enoch? Because y'all got to remember, I think it was, I can't remember who had First Samuel. I think that was Taylor. And then Jess. Yeah, I think Jess was Transfiguration. And Big wanted to talk about Enoch. Big Net. I always call him Big Net.
It's been my
Big, what's up,
nickname
man? You got
since
a
birth,
question?
brother.
Huh?
That's been my nickname since birth.
Well,
No, so
I
the
just,
reason why I wanted to go over Enoch was, just because that, my church the last Sunday went over Enoch, and I sent you their sermon, and
no,
I
I mean,
wanted to.
I
Oh,
figured that was
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
I don't try to go over something because somebody else heard or saw something. The only reason I went over Enoch is because I don't feel like we've done it on the D Scale Live. That's the only reason why I went over it. So,
And I mean, yeah. To be fair, I haven't heard it either, so it was nice to hear, anyways.
yeah. So, has anybody else got anything to say about Enoch before we move on?
Well, a lot of people claim that he physically didn't die. That's another topic, but
Well, Enoch was a real man, right? So physically he didn't die. So that is true. I'm talking about the spiritual notation of it, the other side of it that that needs to be seen. It's real important to understand the names of people in the Bible because they do play a significance. But the whole point of Enoch is if he pleased God, there's only one way that he pleased God, and that boy, there's no other way to say it. That boy was in the Word, period, and that's the only way to please God. So, and there's only one word, and that's Christ. So, I just wanted to go
so
over. Yeah.
wouldn't you say his flesh physically died, being that Jesus was the first fruits to enter heaven?
Yeah, Jesus was the first fruit to enter heaven. Yeah, what about it?
Right. No, I'm saying, wouldn't you
Oh,
say that his flesh physically died then?
So
Being that
Jesus
corrupted flesh can't enter?
yeah, right. So remember, when the Bible says that he pleased God, can your flesh please God?
No.
Okay, so what do you think? What part of what was pleasing to God about Enoch?
The spirit and him believing.
Yeah, it was his faith, right?
Right, yep.
Okay, so remember, the people in the Old Testament, they were saved by faith, not through faith. So Christ had not came yet. Christ had not become, he didn't die and resurrect yet.
Had not
So Jesus is the first fruit, talking about reviving from death. That's what he was the first fruit of. And we are the fruit after him because we were unalived and we became alive through his resurrection. So all of us on this side of the cross, we were saved through faith, meaning through what Jesus did. The people in the Old Testament were saved by faith, not through it. So it's really important to see that. So even though Enoch had a corrupted flesh, the Bible tells us that he was translated because of faith. So if he was translated, then the corrupted flesh part was taken away, but it was taken away the same way by faith. It's the same thing. It's just the difference is we're on this side of the cross, so now it's through what Jesus did. Not by faith, but through faith. So the rules were not broken. The rules were not broken. That's why we see Enoch as a a very how do you say it, miraculous thing, because did he have corrupted flesh? Absolutely. He came from Adam. Every man after Adam did. But I think a lot of people downplay faith. Jesus is faith, and people really downplay faith. When the Bible says that he walked and talked with God, this is the same type of walking and talking that God did with Adam in the garden. It's talking about, it's all done through faith. All of it is. And so, just because it's hard for us to comprehend immediately, I'm telling you, when you start getting more familiar with so many of these things in the Bible, it makes it very easy to understand. And so when people say, oh, so he was special? No, we were born on this side of the cross. So for us to be transfigured in our flesh, that part is over with. We are fruit through what Jesus did now. That's how we become saved. So Christ, the story of Christ, or the truth of Christ, or faith itself on this earth wasn't here. It's not the same, because Christ had not, the death, burial, and resurrection has not occurred. But now the way has happened, right? That's why the Old Testament said that the prophets, they wish that they can see and hear the things that we see and hear. So it's really weird, because we think the glorious thing is the physical. But what's funny is the prophets and the people back then, they knew that this was representing something to come, and they wanted to see what that was. And that was what would happen to us in the spirit. Even David said that how blessed are them whose sins are not imputed upon them. All these people in the Old Testament, they actually wished to see what we see, and it's talking about spiritually in the Bible. They didn't see these things the same way. It was, to them, it was hidden. So for us to be able to see these things is actually the miraculous, not the other way around. Now to us, it looks like the physical thing, but Paul calls those people that, he says your belly is your God. We're so used to entertaining our flesh that's what we're doing, and we don't even realize it. That we want to see a physical thing happen because we're so used to entertaining our flesh, But, all right, anyway, with that being said, Misunderstood, what verse did you bring us?
I am bringing, brother, it's Ephesians 1, verse 5.
Okay, Ephesians 1, 5. All right, read it. Send it.
Okay. Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Jesus Christ, to himself according to the good pleasures of his will. And then I looked up, predestined is when it stated that God has eternally chosen those whom he intends to save. And then I went a little bit deeper, and then it was it also means, to elect and to foreknow and to determine. And then there were other verses as well. Romans 8:1, Ephesians 1:1, 1 Peter 1:1, and then Galatians 4:5. In Romans 8:15, 8:31, 8:23, and Romans 9:4.
Man, I'm gonna have to read to you what I have on my notes. I got a note right here,
Okay.
and it says misunderstood is gonna bring a verse that talks about adopting children.
Well, there
And you
wasn't
brought like
one. I didn't see
you
that.
brought like 20 verses. We're gonna have a whole nother sermon.
No,
We're gonna
I
have a
didn't.
whole nother teaching.
I looked for that, and I thought that it was in there, and if I missed it, brother, I'm sorry, but
No. It's not about missing nothing. I just told you to bring a verse, and the verse you brought was Ephesians 1:5, where you're talking about God adopting us. Is that the verse you brought? God
yes,
adopting
well, the
us.
children. What it says is the adoption of children by Jesus Christ. So we are His children.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and we've been grafted in, right? That's why he
Right.
said that I'm the vine and ye are the branches. So he's the vine that's connected to the good soil. He's the vine that's connected to the living water. So we get the living water through him, and we bear fruit because of him. And yeah, 100%, absolutely. But I mean, it's an awesome verse because it literally is just pointing at how much he loves us, and not what you think you can do to earn him. It's pointing at that fact. Yeah, no, it's an awesome verse, dude. Awesome blossom.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Because I was looking at the other verses, and they made sense, but it wasn't my initial question in a sense, because when they talk about the other one in regards, I think it had mentioned Israel. So I automatically assumed about the Israelites, how they like to twist things around in a sense, and then they don't believe that they're part of the adoption, but they are, but they want to live under the law. But if he wants you, which he does, but you are putting yourself under the law, you are, to me, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, you are denouncing him wanting to adopt you in, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, again, right? What did he say? He said, those that believe in me will never die. And we went over that in John 11. And then he talked about never seeing death, those that listen to him, which is when John 8, I don't remember the exact verses. I just remember like the chapter, but let me just look real quick. And I might have had him twisted, but the one that's talking about believers in me won't die is John 11:26. And where he's talking about they'll never see death if they listen to him, listen to his saying or listen to his words is John 8:51. So again, that's why we were talking about trees earlier, because those that eat, believe what he say, will live. And there's people that are not going to believe. They're not going to eat the fruit from the tree of life, which is Christ. They're not going to do it. So therefore, they cannot be adopted in. They cannot be grafted in because they're rejecting what is true, right? So
It clearly states, and that's why even though I understand, but I don't understand what it clearly states it there. But they choose to do other things, and they pick and choose verses is to fit their own narrative, and that's just confusion to me.
yeah. No, but I mean, hey, it's an awesome scripture, and that one is just so beautifully, edifying in itself, and it does nothing but confirm what Jesus is saying. What the Bible says. I set before you life and death, and then he says, choose life. So there's a choice. You could choose life or not. And, and how do we do that? We eat from the tree of life, not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Everything's good and everything's bad, and people are evil and people are good. And that's how Satan takes your eyes off Christ, by getting you to focus on what you see here in this physical world, right? Because in this physical world, we see good and bad, bad and good. This is what your physical eyes see. But when you look at people in their heart, you start seeing a different world, and you'll start noticing that there are two nations. There are nations that are of God. And I'm not talking about geographical location nations. I'm not talking about America and Russia. I'm saying that in the heart where it matters, God is pleased by the heart. And so we're spread out in this physical world, but all those people, no matter where they are, they're one nation, and it's God's people. And then the other people, obviously, is the other nation, which is the unholy nation, right? We are the bride, they are the whore. The Bible makes it real clear. And then, I said before you life and death, he gives you the answer, choose life, But with that being said, before we bounce, anybody on the panel got something to say?
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
read a verse regarding what you had just taught us on Enoch. And it's in Luke chapter 16 about what Jesus said to the disciples and the people about other people in the past wanting to see what they were not able to see at that moment.
Okay.
Then he cried, oh, I'm sorry. It's it's 10. It's Luke 10, 23 and 24. Then he turned to his disciples and said privately, well, actually, I'm going to start in 22. And all things have been delivered to me by my Father, and no one knows who the Son is except the Father, and who the Father is except the Son, and the one to whom the Son will reveal him. Then he turned to his disciples, and said privately, blessed are the eyes which see the things you see. For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see what you see and have not seen it, and to hear what you hear and have not heard it.
Yeah, 100%. And you can tell, you read in the Old Testament, you just hear the way that how some of these prophets are responding to certain things, and you can even hear it in in David's writings. That's why he said, blessed are they whose sins are not imputed upon them. And so they always knew that there was this looking forward, looking ahead to this new covenant, to the Messiah to come. They knew it was a glorious thing. And so here we are with the glorious thing. And then we look back at the prophets as what they were doing was glorious. It's your flesh. It's your flesh that's it's the part of you that likes to watch movies, likes to hear stories, the entertaining. And that part is what Paul is calling these people when he says, for their belly is their God. Your belly, I'm telling you, the flesh, your emotions, your own will, if not careful, you can hold those things over what the true miraculous is. And you can say the things in the Old Testament were miraculous. And if someone would say, you're telling me that the Red Sea being split, isn't remarkable or isn't a miraculous? And I'm like, well, yeah, in this world, but it is in comparison to what Jesus did, so we can be grafted into him spiritually. It doesn't touch it. Not by a long shot, buddy. Not even a little bit. That's why they were shadows of something better to come, something to come that was better, that was eternal. And that's always going to be more miraculous. Anybody else got something to say before we go?
I was good with the moral water when he cast the wood in, showing how many of us are bittered, and it took Jesus on the cross to take that bitterness away.
Yeah, well, it takes the tree of life to enter us, right? And one day we'll talk about that. and I'll throw this out there before we get off, but the Mary, right, is us. We are the bride, the Mary. We are the bitter woman, the bitter bride that became sweet because of the word. So, you'll hear things that talk about that the reason that Jesus is called the king is because he needed a queen, and Mary is the queen.
Oh,
And I'm like, okay, so the mother of Jesus married Jesus? What? Look, the
Dre's not
bride,
here for that.
but the bride, okay, the bride was put together by many Gentiles, and that as far as shadows go, that's why Samson is a shadow of Christ. It's not a coincidence that he was always in love with Gentile women. It's not a coincidence, I'm telling you. And so all of us, together are a lot of Gentiles that formulated his bride. It's because we are the Mary, the bitter woman. We are it. And we are the bride, no longer bitter, became sweet because of the tree of life. We're it, right? But anyhow, all right. Well, anybody got anything else to say? Anybody?
Yeah. Have we been through Elijah on here?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm talking about Elijah a lot. I don't know if we've done it here or not.
I think
All right.
I think we did just a short portion of him in the upper room with the woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But okay, well, all right, man. Hey, guys, all like always, it's been amazing, and we.
God bless.
All right, brother. God bless.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear
God
me?
bless
God bless
everybody.
Can y'all hear me?
everyone.
Can y'all hear me?
Bless.
All right, God bless.